So yeah, so you come to us, we establish your entitlement to claim, and we do like a desktop assessment. So you have it in black and white and you know what the process is. And we'll just say that, right, this is what we're potentially going to find you on your property based on the information that you provided so far. And right now you just need to crack on and get it done. You come back to us and say, right, it's up and running, getting the bookings, I need the allowances. So what we will do then is, depending on the nature of the property, we will say, right, send us floor measurements and photos of the property and we can complete the report as a desktop. Or if the property is a bit more complicated, and I'll do that based on, just a judgment call on the information that I received, I'll do a site inspection. More often than not, I prefer to do the site inspection because I don't want to miss anything. But service accommodation is really straightforward. It's not, we've been doing it so often, I know like back of my hands, and there's very little that we can miss. And if there are any gaps in information, the client can typically flag that off the back of a phone call anyway. And because I'm up and down the country anyway, if it's on my travels, I will pop in and have a quick look regardless. But we do a site inspection, we quantify all of the allowances.
Just to interrupt there. So when you say, I'm, you might miss something. I mean, to those of us who don't know, what to a layperson, what might you see that, say, somebody else might not see?
To be honest, you only tend to miss things, or we only tend to miss things on the lower end properties. The higher end ones, the offices, the care homes, the hotels, and everything else, they're easy. It's crazy. It's the smaller ones, like, the small apartments where we need to squeeze every bit of value we can out of it. And that's what a site inspection does. And sometimes the properties are a bit complicated. If it's just an open plan apartment, easy. But if it's like a house that's got a basement and got loads of little kind of crevices and everything else, that's where you kind of miss things. There might be a boiler in a hidden location. There might be a gas meter somewhere that, you can't really see with a video walk around. There could be those kind of things. And that's the stuff that we want to get. There might be an MCB board somewhere hidden away in a back room that is just dark and it's not, open to the clients when they come to visit the property. So I'm not going to see it in any of the photos. So that's the kind of stuff that we want to make sure, because all of that stuff is value and we want to quantify all of that and include in your report. So we don't want to miss anything, and that's why I say that we want to be careful. And it really is on the kind of where the margins are tight that we want to maximize and benefit, add as much benefit as possible. So that's what I mean. It's rare that we miss anything of any significance, but we just want to make sure that we're providing the best service we can. So we quantify the allowances, we produce a HMRC compliant report, we submit that to you and your accountants. Your accountant will have a week or so to go through it, come back to us with any queries, and then they submit the figures into your tax return. We're on hand to provide submission guidance with regards to how they submit the allowances. And if worst case scenario, there is a HMRC inquiry and they come back and they ask questions around it, that's for us to deal with. It's not for you, your accountant, anyone else. We've done the report, we've quantified the allowances, it's only for us to respond. So they will write to your accountant, your tax agent, but they just send it on to us. I'll draft the response and I'll send it back and they'll just be the go-between. They can inquire into the allowances at any time. There's this myth where, they've only got 6 years, they can do it at any time. So if they decide to do it in 10 years time, then you still just come back to me and I'll do it. And fingers crossed I'm still around in 10 years time, but let's just say, but that's for me to deal with. And the terms and conditions that you sign guarantee you for the lifetime of the allowances as well. And there are no hidden fees. Once we typically just charge a percentage of what we identify. So for example, if I charge you 5%, it'll be like on £100,000 worth of allowances, the fee would be £5,000 plus VAT. There are no additional costs for any inquiries or anything else. It's all covered in that one fee, and that's for the lifetime of it. And that's it. It's as straightforward as that. I mean, anyone who's listening and anyone who's running service accommodation and is looking to claim capital allowances, your main criteria here is to just be earning as much money as possible. And then it's my job to come in and try and wipe out the tax bill that you guys due to pay. Unless you guys are smashing it, I can't add any value. So that's it. That's your number one thing. So when everyone comes and says, I'm buying this property, what do you reckon? Everything else, they go, what do I need to do? I said, smash it. Just go out and do what you have to do. Get the bookings, get this business as profitable as possible. And that's when we can add value. If you're not doing that, there's nothing I can do for you. That's it. That's your number one aim. And that's all you have to do.